that Princess Kate is a mean girl is that she did not even want to meet Meghan for months after Harry said that he was dating somebody and wanted his family to meet her because he was serious about her. A normal sister-in-law would take that with the intention and seriousness that it was and want to, I don't know, meet her future sister-in-law. But Kate had already decided that Meghan was whatever she wanted her to be in her mind, not good enough, or too much of an actress, or possibly too beautiful, or too much of a hard worker. And Kate was already gearing up to not like her. And in Harry's book, Spare, we hear about more details, and it did take him a long time to get them to meet. And then there were just some coldness opportunities from Kate toward Meghan. And Meghan was trying really hard because she wanted to make it work. And that's...
Yes. She forgot one thing. Meghan came in highly intelligent. Her level of intelligence showed in that forum which blew them away. Harry proudly admits he's out of his league with her. But nah, they couldn't have her showing them up. By them, I mean William and Kate. Kate is a mean girl. Spare is why they're angry at Harry, because he told some of what his family did to them. There's no doubt that Harry had way more to tell. One insight is what he wrote about how his family was treating Andrew versus them. The Epstein situation proved it. Her intelligence noticed who was left out, who needed a word, quietly challenging tradition. Meghan's questions, why this bow, why that protocol, why can't we talk about mental health, did more than irritate. They exposed how many customs rested on sand, not stone. Meghan's presence forced old hands to explain themselves, often for the first time in years. She was simply being herself. The monarchy has always survived by adapting slowly, almost invisibly. Meghan's drive for clarity, her need to know the why, sped up the pace. She spoke openly about feelings, about race, about the limits of tradition. Her presence highlighted the gap between royal appearances and private realities. She valued transparency. Her background in American activism, her experience as a woman of colour in Hollywood, had taught her the cost of silence. Meghan's style, warm, direct, emotionally literate, clashed with the palace's preference for distance and ambiguity. For some, Meghan was a breath of fresh air. For others, especially those guarding the family's traditions, she was a storm. Harry was captivated by Meghan's confidence. He admired the way she navigated the world, her empathy, her drive. She seemed to see him fully, to invite him to speak openly about things he'd buried. Meghan's belief in him gave Harry the courage to confront old wounds. But admiration has a shadow. Harry sometimes felt outshone by Meghan's ease in public life. Her intelligence and social deftness, the very qualities that drew him to her, also made him feel exposed. The new couple's success, especially in the press, created a subtle, persistent tension. Harry was torn, wanting to celebrate Meghan's strengths, but unable to ignore how her light cast new shadows. William and Kate had long been the golden couple. Their roles were clear, their image polished. Meghan's arrival upset this careful balance. Suddenly the new Duchess was everywhere, praised for her style, her speeches, her so-called modern touch. The press started to compare, and inside the palace those comparisons cut deeper than headlines. Meghan's informal warmth sometimes made Kate seem aloof by contrast. William, always protective of the family image, became more guarded. The old solidarity between the brothers began to crack. Small gestures took on heavy meanings, invitations not extended, private jokes that excluded Meghan, seating arrangements that kept her at a distance. Every difference became a battleground, magnified by rumour, press, and the relentless gaze of tradition. In royal circles, exclusion is rarely loud. It is delivered with a cool smile, a missing invitation, a carefully chosen word. Meghan soon learned the rules of the mean girl game, where coldness, not confrontation, keeps outsiders in their place. Kate, often cast as reserved, could be icy when threatened. Meghan, used to American openness, found the closed nature of royal friendships hard to bear. Whispered conversations would stop when she entered a room. Shared glances signalled private jokes she would never hear. There were moments, seemingly small, when the message was clear. You are not quite one of us. Meghan's charity work, her new projects, received lukewarm support. Sometimes her successes were downplayed or her motives questioned. For Meghan, the emotional toll was immense. The palace's mean girl culture worked because it was almost invisible, seen, felt, but rarely named. When Harry published Spare, the wounds that had festered in silence burst into the open. The book was raw, sometimes angry, always personal. It told Harry's truth, his pain, his sense of betrayal, his love for Meghan. But it also told only part of the story. The family's silence was its own statement. Spare was more than a memoir. It was a declaration of independence. Harry named names, described slights, and revealed conversations once whispered behind closed doors. The result was a family in crisis. Private tensions became public fodder. Every family member saw the same events differently. The truth was fractured, each shard reflecting a personal wound or hope. In the wake of Spare, relationships grew colder. For Meghan and Harry, the cost of honesty was exclusion. The royal family's treatment of Meghan and Harry stands in stark contrast to its handling of Prince Andrew and the Epstein scandal. Where Meghan and Harry were scrutinised, shamed, and ultimately cast out, Andrew was protected for years. The institution managed narratives with care, minimising Andrew's connections, downplaying the gravity of his actions, and shielding him from consequence. Public perception is shaped by what is shown and what is hidden. Stories about Meghan and Harry became scandal. Stories about Andrew became whispers. Protection is not given equally, not even in the House of Windsor. Institutions tell stories to survive. They edit, reshape, and sometimes erase uncomfortable truths. Meghan and Harry's story became a lightning rod, not just because of what was said, but because of what had always been left unsaid. To speak in the face of tradition is to risk everything.